specific cases, specific aspects of the occupation. The occupation hasn't been kind for Iraqis, we know that, so we will move. I'll move on to Ghazwan Al Mukhtar, who's going to speak again to continue the narrative about the sanctions period, 1991 to 2003. Thank you. Ghazwan.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, it gives me a great pleasure to be with you back again at the Brussels Tribunal. I was at the first Brussels Tribunal, 2004, and I'm back again today. Yesterday, the chair reminded us that there is a film called Why We Did It, which was released, and they showed a new document which clarified that the war was done for the oil. That's very nice. My presentation today is actually the effect of what they did. What did the people of Iraq suffer because of the war? I know why they did it. Doesn't help me understand why they did it. It doesn't bring my dead brother back. But I'll try to answer it. In 1991, there was a war in Iraq by the United States. They had more than 600,000 soldiers and lasted many weeks. And the first report about the conditions in Iraq after the war was published by the Under-Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ahtisaari, and he said that Iraq, that it suffered tremendously, and nothing could prepare him to what he saw on the ground, and that Iraq has been reduced. Another slide, please. They have, totally destroyed a society which is totally dependent on technology and modern technology, and we were reduced back to the prehistoric time or pre-industrial time. What I'm talking about is the social and cultural and social and ties, the economic rights of the people of Iraq. The majority of the people of Iraq are people, not activists. They don't want to overthrow Saddam Hussein or oppose Saddam Hussein. But those people are interested in living a quiet life, to care for their families, to send them to the schools and send them to have a good medical training or medical treatment, and have water and electricity. That is the important thing for the majority of the people in Iraq. So where are we now and how we went back? The social and economic rights actually talks about the right to social security, right of family right of adequate standard of living, and that means we have housing, adequate housing, we have water, we have electricity, we have sewage, whenever possible. The Iraqi government has invested tremendously to achieve those rights to the Iraqi people. Those rights were violated by the war. We used to have the best food system in the Middle East. This is according to the World Food Program. that we have adequate food supply. The lower part of the ground, change, could you please? Yeah, change this side. But no, forward. Forward, another one. Okay, this one. The lower half of that was before the 1990. The first statement is before 1990. The lower statement is the food basket ration system, because Iraq was not allowed to import food. Therefore, the people are provided with less food than they used to have. The Iraqi government imported 3,200 kilocalories per day per person. Now we are talking about 1,900. Or during the sanction we talked about 1,900. When the oil for food program started, we increased it to 2,300, but still below the requirement, because we couldn't improve any more to it. And there were some people in Iraq who are totally dependent on the ration. Therefore, people were starved to achieve something. It's unacceptable. The world knows about those figures. It's not my figures. Those are figures that are available to all the governments in the world and to all the human rights organizations, and no one raised his voice to object to it. But I'll go to the other point in our economic rights. Yeah, two more. That's the electricity. Iraq used to have the best, no, could you go back one, please? Okay. And during the until 1990, electricity system was one of the best in the region. That's from the UNAMI report, UNDP report. During the Gulf War, the Allies destroyed 90% of the electricity. That's a crime. But nobody raised any objection to it. We tried to rebuild the system. We managed to build part of it, but we run into a problem. They don't allow us to import spare parts. So as such, again, the people suffered, and the world knows about it, and the world didn't do anything. Now, until today, here's a graph. Here's a graph of the destruction in 91. You see that there was a dip, and then we rebuilt it in the black area, a blue area, until 1997, 96, when we start experiencing shortage of electricity. They prevented Iraq from rehabilitating or redoing this, repairing the electrical system. Now, what do we have? After so many years, next slide please. After so many years and spending millions and millions of dollars, we still we are 50% less today. We cannot meet the demand for electricity. Well, that's an important factor for us. We live on electricity. We have air conditioning, we have pumps, hospitals, sewage system, water system. The whole system is dependent on electricity, but we don't have electricity. And this is 2000, I don't know what, 2006, 2010, I think, This is from the statistics from the State Department. So now, run into problem. The computer run into problem. So could we go on the housing, please? Yes. The government, the housing system, the government encouraged the building of the housing. They helped in the financing of the projects, and they built multi-story buildings to impact that so that we reduce the size of the city because we were expanding horizontally, so it became unmanageable, so they started building vertically. Next slide. This is the building industry, building progress. In 1989, we were building something around 14 or more than 15 million squares of land. Now, because of the war, 90 and 91, look at the dip. Actually, in 96, we didn't build anything. 300,000, that's nothing. You know, what we lost, the chance of the building, had we continued from the same rate of 89 till 2002, we would have added 137 million square meters, but we didn't. It was still there, and you can see as soon as the government is allowed to import building materials. At 2001, the construction shot up. Then we go back, next slide please. We talked about the electricity, and that's important to us. UNESCO reports noted that in 1990, 90% of the urban dwellers and 71% of the rural population had access to electricity. No, that's on health, right on health. That's the health. Anyway, we talk about this. This is the health situation. Okay, next slide, please. This is the Iraqi Index report from the Brookings Institute. Because of the chaos that we are living in, 20,000 doctors out of 44,000 doctors, that's more than half of the doctors, left the country. That is not me saying it, that's the Brookings Institute. Now, with such a decrease of the number of doctors, with the instability of the security, with the bombing and killing and lack of electricity to run the hospitals, with the lack of water to run the hospitals, no wonder that our life in Iraq is miserable concerning the healthcare. I'm not talking about anything else. We go on, next slide please. This is a gem. This is a program, an American program, in which Madeleine Albright said that the death of 500,000 child is worth it. Because of the sanctions, 500,000 child died from 1991 till 1996. And can we have the film? No, the film. Good time. Sound? Well, they're asking her, right now we lost the sound. We lost the sound. Anyway, they asked her, 500,000 child under the age of 5 died because of the sanction. This is more than what were killed in Hiroshima. Is the price worth it? She said yes. The whole world heard that statement in color on television. The whole world did not object to the killing of this massacre of 500,000 people. Well, those people, those 500,000, did not, the others, the death of children did not stop because Madrid Albright said it in 1996, but it continued because of the conditions which led to the death of those people. But no one was counting anymore. They are too ashamed to count more than 500,000. My guesstimating, and this is based on the fact that in 5 years 500,000 child died, that's on the average 100,000 child died per year. I give them the benefit of the doubt and say I cut it by 50%, so 50,000 people, child dies every year. Now, it has been 18 years since the 1996. That means 18 years with 500,000, that's done, 900,000. Plus the 500,000, the 500,000, that's 1.4 million child died. I'm sorry, nobody raised those things. All the world countries received all those documents that I referred, because I referred to the UN documents. But no one takes an action. Now we have 1 million and something died in Iraq because of the occupation. No one talks about the 1 million people died, but they talk about the election. We are having an election, hooray, we are having an election. We are now a democratic country. Can I have, please, the next slide? Here is the Iraqi person. This Iraqi person is stripped naked of everything. He has, that's it. He has no clothes. He has somebody with a stick torturing him. This guy is standing just like Jesus is symbolized on the cross, crucified. Look at his leg or his foot. I'm sorry you don't see the blood of the nails. But we are a nation exposed to the world. We are a nation that has been tortured splattered with human feces, and we are people who were crucified. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ghazwan. Thank you very much. Very moving. Ross is